I thought it was much more interesting than Lady J. Lady J for me was like a rapper name, like, you know, like I know a little bit of rap, but, you know, I just wanted to, Tondu's more unique.
I like it.
You know, people like Tondu,
yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah,
what is it, you know, where does it come from, you know, so I definitely wanted something to like stand out, you know.
I definitely like that. Her last name,
like
kind of like Beyonce. Like Beyonce was her grandmother's maiden name, so it's very nice, very nice.
Right. Thank you, thank you.
Yeah. No, definitely, that's dope. See, that's the whole thing. A lot of people, you know, you have to look at it in this day and age. There's certain things that gotta set you apart from other people. There's tons of artists that R&B, sing, rap. So there's got to be something that's different about you. So that's cool. I love the name. What's the hardest part about writing a song for you? Because you was in a group, so you know you had your little parts and bits. So I would like to know, like now, like really, what would be the hardest thing? Because I'm really good with choruses, and I hear everyone be like, "Oh, I hate doing choruses."
For me, it's nothing. I can come up with a bunch of different melodies in my head, but sitting there and actually listening to the instrumental and then trying to, you know, you get the sense of, you know, what vibe you're getting from the music and everything, and I think the most difficult part is the verses for me.
All right.
The hook, that's very easy to come up with. The verses, because you want to make it simple, you don't want to make it complex, you want to make it catchy. So there's like a bunch of things you got to think about, and you know, it's still a work in progress for me. I'm not gonna lie, you know, but I love it, you know. I just want to continue to like, you know, flourish, you know.
So where do you draw your inspiration from?
Gosh, it comes from those that came before me, you know. I listened to a lot of old school. I grew up in the 90s, like those are my teenage years, so that was like the golden age of hip hop and R&B for me. So
it was, period, for everybody, not just you.
So I mean, I listened to anybody and everybody at that time, you know, and also some personal things that it's always great when you write or you sing about something that people can relate to.
Absolutely.
So personal experiences definitely play a role in, you know, inspiration for me, you know, aside from the artists that came before me.
Like what artists?
Because she like Beyonce.
Man, of course I like Beyonce.
No, this one here.
You know what? I'm telling everybody that. Damn.
She a rapper though. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like, Mary J. Blige.
I love Mary. We had
a taking it way back. Shaka Khan. It's like a whole list of, you know, artists. Aretha, Lena Horne. Now I'm taking it way back. You know, there's so many singers out there that I just love. You know, I grew up on their music as well. You know, we always had the 8 tracks and you know, my mom had everything. She had, even on her vinyl, she had like everybody from, she had Barbara Streisand to Grover Washington. She had a bunch.
So you was like introduced to a bunch of different music early.
Right. And then even from that to Z100, like listening to Casey Kasem's top 40 countdown, and they had a lot of rock, you know. But they
knows her music.
I'm telling you,
that's definitely a good sign.
Those teachers really influenced me a great deal, you know. I mean, it was just, music in my household was just a big deal.
So you said you were dancing, and you know, this is how. Well, matter of fact, let me say this: you went to a performing arts school.
LaGuardia.
So I mean,
ain't too many
up to LAG.
When did you know, like, that you wanted to do music?
That didn't actually come until about 2006, and it was like, it was by mistake. I kind of dabbled in it in 2004. I hooked up with someone that wanted me to reference some tracks, and that was my first experience in the studio. Nothing came from that. So those days in 2006, it was like MySpace, and I was reconnecting with a lot of high school friends who was still doing, you know what they were doing, whether they were singing, art, dance, or whatever. And a friend of mine, shout out to Brooke Lugo, she actually sent a message on MySpace asking for a vocalist to audition for America's Got Talent. And at the time, she was in a group, but the situation didn't work out. So she was basically looking for 2 new singers. And I basically replied, and I was like, okay, well, this is a perfect opportunity for me to catch up with this person and see where I want to take the music.
Right.
So, to make a long story short, we started this group. The audition for America's Got Talent.
America's Got Talent.
Yeah, that didn't really go anywhere.
All right.
But we decided to, start a group. And it was a short-lived group. But we accomplished so much in so little time, and then my homegirl was in the studio with me. We started another group together. So from that first experience, it was just in and out of groups, and her and I, Sharon.
You know what? The road to success is not a straight one.
Yeah, of course not.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's expected for you to go in different lanes, but you learn something from it, right?
Right. At that time, going into taking music seriously, I wanted to be a soloist, but I just wasn't ready.
Yeah.
So I just put that on the back burner.
And now you are.
Now
you're ready.
I'm glad I stuck with it because I almost didn't.
Yeah, I hear you.
I was just trying to find my lane, and it took so many years because I had other things going on, and it just was not a priority for me. So I had this encounter with someone who was following me on Instagram.
Instagram.
He was admiring my photos, and he had seen that I was in a group. I was posting photos of the group.
I just want to hold on because I know they can't see your face from the angle you are. Yes, look into the camera because she really is beautiful though.
All right, listen, this ain't got nothing to do with the show.
I'm just saying they want to see her,
Listen, this ain't got nothing to do with what we talking about.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They can't see her.
Like she's telling you a life story and shit, and you like, but she's beautiful first.
No, wait. The only reason I said that is because she said she was on Instagram. I was listening, and somebody was admiring her photos. They want to know what the person was admiring. So I told her just look in the camera.
Right. So that person, his name is Haz Ali. Shout out to him. He's actually the executive producer of my project at the beginning.
That's dope.
And we met up at a local spot on 14th Street in Union Square and had a meeting and discussed, where I was at that point and where he was and what we were both looking for. And he believed in me enough to work with me. Because even before him, even if I wasn't in groups, I was just referencing tracks.
Yeah.
And just known as the hook girl, just the girl singing hooks. So I wanted to break out of that lane, and I needed that push.
Yeah.
And I worked with him. It's been about a year now since we've been working together. We recorded the first track called Symphony. It's not on the album, but it is on my SoundCloud. And from there, we just been working. And then, on top of the fact, I found out that we went to the same school, high school together. We didn't know each other.
Yeah, you know each other, but
yeah, it's crazy, you know. LaGuardia is kind of like a cult.
Yeah,
it's
just
everybody knows. And if you didn't go to school, you knew somebody that went to LaGuardia.
I spent a little bit of time at Martin Luther King, so I know about LaGuardia.
Oh yeah, right across the street. I don't know why they put two schools across the street from one another.
Yeah, and two different types of schools at that. Like, oh my God.
Right.
You got the crazy ass ghetto half Dominican crazy motherfuckers over here. From uptown and shit, and then literally across the street you got all these performing arts kids. Some that are from out of state. They come to LaGuardia to like study. And it's like and then it's like
they want to step right. It was like they had one foot across the street, the other foot.
It's fucked up because the train station is like on Martin Luther King side. So you had like it's like you ain't got no. You have to.
They had no other rumors. Yeah, we always had heard rumors that they were gonna come jump us.
Yeah, it was always some shit like that. Like
but nothing. Nothing like that.
Yeah, I got kicked out of Kick, so that lets you know how crazy I was back in those days. I was one of those like
telling you crazy.
My childhood was extremely fun. My teenage years was when things went out of control. But now that I'm grown, I don't do that type of stuff no more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. For my mom too, and for my dad. But I grew out of that once I got into high school. Yeah. Thank God.
Yeah.
I know she's saying thank God.
Yeah.
That's real. So we'll be back with some good music. We'll get back to the interview, you know what I'm saying? And Tondu's in the building. Yeah. She's doing her thing. And we just finished, getting a little interview on with her. So we'll be back with some good music, some serious Sundays. Prima Donna. Yeah.